Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Today we're going to be having a look at a completely new product from Olight, and this is the Warrior Nano. With Halloween quickly approaching, it made perfect sense for them, and as soon as they told me the different options as far as the colour is concerned, to pick up the zombie green version. So let's turn the camera around and take a closer look. Fairly typical unboxing for Olight. Here on the back, can we get this in focus? Maybe, I'm just not too sure if I can see on the screen there. So on the inside, you've got the light, which I've definitely took out. Like that they've added, still got some features in here in the fact that you also get the this little L bracket. So if you want to attach this, if it's in your truck or you want, you go out for a walk every night, you take the light with you, it will magnetize to that, and you also get one of the standard Olight magnetic chargers as well. So here we have the light itself in this amazing, it is zombie green with loads of kind of blood splatter on there. As we usually do, we'll go through some measurements and then we'll have a look at some of the features of the light, and then we'll go and see it in the dark. Now, as far as your measurements are concerned, it comes in at 81mm by 23mm in diameter. Without the battery in there, it's just 85 grams, which is nice and light. I think it's perfect for this. It's constructed from your aerospace aluminium, which also allows this to keep the weight down as much as possible. There are some similarities. In fact, if I just had it in my pocket, there are some similarities, well, in fact a lot of similarities between the Warrior Nano and the Warrior Mini 3. If I put them, because the little striking bezels do fit perfectly, hopefully you'll be able to see that it is exactly the same diameter, and as far as the length is concerned, it's about an inch or so shorter. So on the light itself, you have a reversible clip, so you can pass it through or behind. It's all operated by the single button here. As far as charging is concerned, it's all charged through the end here, which you have one of those magnetic chargers on there. Now, similar to the Warrior Mini 3, so they have changed the actual button on the end here, and they've used the exact same one. I was a big fan of the one on the Warrior Mini 3, and I think that it's great that they've added it to this. The main reason is that where the actual button itself is, it lifts itself up from these three prongs here. So if you do want to tail stand this, if you want to magnetize this to something, it makes it a lot easier to be able to do that. And I actually think actuating this button is a little bit easier as well, because these three prongs that are around the outside here, there's probably maybe say 1mm or 1.5 mm worth of clearance between where the prong is and where the button is, so it just makes it easier to be able to push that down. Now we'll have a look at the UI in a second, but first I just wanted to show you on the inside, so you can unscrew the barrel, or at least the body, from the head. And on the inside, you'll be able to see we have an 18350 battery. This is one of Olight's proprietary 18350 batteries. I've tried a couple of others in here. Unfortunately, they don't work, but it's kind of a common thing for Olight, you'll find. Now on the bottom, on the inside, there is a spring, and there is also a spring in the head as well. So if you're concerned about losing the light, if this is being jostled around, or maybe it's being hit around, you certainly won't have any of those connection issues with this. I forgot to mention as well, the spring, if you want to, the spring can be removed. You just have to give it a bit of a pull. Now I'm trying to do this whilst on camera, which is always tricky, but yes, I actually quite like the aesthetic of it without it on there. So I think with this one I probably will leave it off. But what I will say is, if you're ever concerned about trying to find the button, having the spring on the back when it fits into your hand, it makes it a lot easier to be able to find that button. As far as the UI on this is concerned, you have got two buttons. You have one on the end, which is I'm going to call this your kind of tactical options. You can half depress it, which will give you a mid turbo light, or you can full depress it, which will give you access to your turbo directly. So just in case you need to get access to that very quickly, then you can use that through the tail clicker here. The other, or I'd say the kind of the main or everyday options that you'll use through this are through this, through the button here on the head unit. Very similar, in fact it's identical. Let me grab the other one again out of my pocket. If you already have the Warrior Mini 3, you'll find that the Warrior Nano uses exactly the same UI. So while it's off, you can do a long press, which is very difficult to see here in the light, but that will take you on to the moonlight mode. It does have a memory on this, and I know with other lights that they don't, they class the moonlight as more of a special mode, so the memory won't remember to put it on the special mode, it will put it onto your normal mode, but if you turn this on, it will remember the special mode that's on there. And then you can do a long press where you've got low, medium, and high. You can do a double press that will take you to the turbo mode. Let's hold this away so that you can see it. And then there's also a triple press which will put on the strobe mode. Now, although I put some quick information there, we'll go into a little bit more of the luminosity levels for each of the different modes when we have a look at this in the dark. Now, as far as the lumens are concerned, it's all pushing out from this single module that's in there, and hopefully you'll be able to see it has this beautiful TIR lens as well. It's actually concave TIR lens. I don't know how that affects it. It does have a reasonably nice warm spot, which again, you know, we'll have a look at when it's in the dark in a minute as well. Okay, so here we are. It's dark. Now, I will say it's unseasonably light tonight, so hopefully you can see this, but we are down at my fishing lake on one of the jetties here, and we're currently on the moonlight mode. So moonlight mode on this is half a lumen. Whilst it's off, you can do a long press and it will take you straight through to moonlight mode. Now, normally you'd probably see a little bit more than this, but as I say, it's just a little bit brighter than it usually is this evening. But inside the house, before I came down here, half a lumen's great. You know, it's good for being able to find things that you want to find, but also maybe not wake up your significant other. Now, all of the modes from this you can get through via a long press. So a long press will now take me up onto low mode. Low mode on this is just 15 lumens, which is great. Again, as I've said a lot of times on my channel, I tend to use moonlight and low mode more than I use any other mode on flashlights. But 15 lumens is perfectly serviceable. Oh, bloody hell, that fish just made me jump then for a second. But yes, it's just right for being able to find things and go for a walk with the dogs, especially walking around the lake like this. Now I'm going to put this onto the opposite side of the lake. You might just be able to see that tree there, but walking in front, I can easily see 3 or 4 meters in front on the low mode. As I mentioned, low mode is 15 lumens. So I can do another long press. This will then take me up to medium mode. You can see now, I can see down the path a lot easier, see onto the little fishing lake, and that tree that we saw before now is a hell of a lot easier to see. That tree's about, say, 10 meters away. Medium mode, 60 lumens, being able to see into the water. Now looking down onto the little wharf here, again, it's just a lot easier to be able to see the details on here. So that's medium. I can then do high mode, which for high jumps up from 60 lumens all the way up to 400 lumens. So being able to see, so just in the distance there, you might be able to hear it. There's a little ornamental fountain, waterfall. There's a tree here now, which is probably about 20 meters away. The tree that we've been looking at on the opposite side of the lake here, 10 meters away, is so much more easier to see. And I can now easily be able to see onto the other side of the lake and up into the canopy of the trees. High mode on this, 400 lumens. It's very nice. I think for a flashlight like this, it's a good jump. And I will say, I do quite like the jumps in these. I think they're probably just right, as I mentioned, so low as 15, medium as 60, then up to 400 for high. Then I can do a double press, and this will then take me up into the turbo mode. So turbo mode, as I mentioned before, is 1200 lumens. So you can now easily be able to see that little, that ornamental kind of waterfall there, which you can hear. That tree, which is about 20 meters away, is so much easier. You can see the detail in the steps that are just next to the tree. These trees here, opposite side of the lake, again a lot easier to see, and we can then see the little ornamental little kind of island in the middle. In fact, let's go back, so let's make sure medium. No, I went past it again, didn't I? There's high, so we can still see that on there. We can still see around on high, and then again, as I say, so double press, that then takes you up into the turbo. Now, as I do with quite a lot, so just to show you where that warm spot is, if I turn this 45 degrees to the left, back again, 45 degrees to the right, and back again. Now on the skirt of the actual light as well, this really is a it's more designed to be a floodlight rather than a searchlight. It has a reasonably kind of defined warm spot, but I wouldn't say it's particularly defined. And again, through the skirt of the light as well, it's not particularly defined there as well. Now, as I mentioned, so you've got both types of UI. So on the end, you also have the tail cap here, so I can do half a press. And this, as I mentioned, so this is a mid-turbo, so at half a press, this is 600 lumens, and then I can do a full press, which will then take me up to the 1200 lumens. Actually see the heat coming off my hand there for a second. So yes, so as I mentioned, so half a press, there you've got 600 lumens, which is mid-turbo. Oh, we've got more fish jumping there again, and then you can do a full press, and there you've got the 1200 lumens of the full turbo. I'm not usually one for novelty kind of colours. I usually prefer like a green version or a tan version, or a lot of the times you tend to get most lights in black. However, zombie green with speckles of blood on there, it's just too cool. It is a bit of a novelty colour on what I actually think is quite a legitimately good light. It's got the luminosity that you need, and I think due to the size of this, it's perfectly pocketable. And well, I mean, really taking what the Warrior does, because the Warrior Mini 3 does a lot of good things, and just kind of reducing that down into a small light like this, I think it's a great step from Olight. Now, I'll leave some links below, mainly because, as usual, you know, there is a sale on from Olight from the 25th to the 27th, so you can get some exclusive discounts on this. Plus, they're also running an additional sale on these iMini 2s. This is one of the Tickle Pink versions, so a proportion of the sales of this will go to the Tickle Pink charity, which is a charity for breast cancer, which is a great and worthwhile cause. So I'll leave all the links below so that you can see more from these. I'll also leave some of my social media links as well, so that you can see more from me here on Moorlander EDC, and also my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical. But for now, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Noisy plane. That one is leaving Manchester Airport. I wonder where they're going. It just... Europe way? Europe way. That's the new content. Beard's looking a bit messy today. Whether you're... Oh, you can still see my... Just don't know what to do. Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC. I don't always know where I'm going to go. I don't always know what I'm going to say first. Sometimes it takes a couple of tries. completely brand new product from Olight, and this is the Warrior Nano. It is the Warrior Nano. I knew it was the Warrior Nano. Why didn't I believe what I was going to say? Because you were not. Got a bone. Anyway, have a nice day. I think it's Wednesday. It's not Wednesday now, but it will be Wednesday when you see this. See you in a bit. Love you lots. Bye.